Good morning, beautiful. I hope that this finds you well rested, ready to begin your day. This is your daily tarot oracle, your daily insight on life and love for July 22nd, 2022. Also being timeless, wherever you're catching a time, it could be relevant. It could not be relevant, but it's up to you. It's general collective. Don't force it to fit your life. If it's entertaining, awesome. Stick around, enjoy the show. If you have questions about booking a private reading or any of the services I provide at the end or at the beginning, the end or the beginning, or in the description, there's all the ways of contact. I promise you, I'm not gonna initiate the contact. I'm not gonna tell you that your ancestors wanted the grand rising message to you. I'm not gonna tell you about crypto. I'm not gonna tell you about sponsorships. It's just weird. They're spammers, mess with them, send the actual me the screenshots. So I'm kicking off this reading. We're kicking off with the Fool in reverse, a journey that you don't even believe that you're ready for yet. This feels like there's a sense of impulsiveness around this. I don't think that you're normally impulsive, but I am getting a sense of not looking where you are jumping, and you don't quite know what this is involving. And it looks like there's a lot of illusions about the problems that are surrounding you with this. What I see is before there's any movement forward, there needs to be some build of confidence. You and just kind of leaping into this is going to create problems for yourself. And I think that you know this, but I also feel like there's impulsiveness that you need to be very aware of. We have the Ace of Wands. So the Ace of Wands is all about movement, momentum, it's passion, it's a drive forward. If this were dealing with relationships, it would be hot. But I don't think that this reading is about relationships. I'm seeing this as what seems to be financial growth, opportunity, but I'm going to go through the cards and we're going to see what unfolds with it. Initially, I do not feel like this is about love or relationships. So I see this new creative spark that seems to be coming into play, and it is coming out of nowhere. It's something that's been coming out of the confusion that I think you were trying to leap from this entire time. There needs to be a better plan before you leap in this, and I think that the inspiration and the excitement that's surrounding what seems to be the perceivable future of this is really what's giving you the push. It's just not ready to jump yet. You will figure it out when you get there. No, you really won't. Like this could end with chipped teeth if you fall on your face with this. Your fleece? Yeah. It's like fleece and face, and it's kind of blended. These are good things. No, there's no real problem surrounding it. It's a matter of time constraint. I also see that the empire that you're building isn't going to be building with this until a little bit further down the road. This is off in the distance. You got to think about doing what's going to make you come alive in this, rather than the financial, guarantee of it, or the abundant guarantee of it. So there are a few ways that you can go about this. You can think about the best plan and do this whole discipline and micromanaging part of it, but you already, if you've been here for longer than 5 seconds, chances are you kind of already know. Sorry, I'm getting a notification as I'm doing this. Already getting lost my train of thought. So if you've been here for longer than 5 minutes, you kind of already know how I feel about micromanaging every part of this situation. It deals with fear and a sense of lack of control and kind of scarcity on this. But I also tend to put on blinders. I want you to take those blinders off so you can really see what's around you. So this is why I see that there's, I gotta get this notification off of here. There's a lot to be learned in these different paths. So before you can take a step forward, I want you to label every single one of the paths moving forward and really lay out your options and what it's going to be in all of those. There's no right, there is no wrong. There is how much of a pain in the keister are you going to put yourself through? Simple question. Do you want to make this an absolute dreaded nightmare getting through it? the end justifies the means, or do you want to really kind of let your passion let you come alive and get you really sprinting in this? I see that there is an air of, good God, there is an air of victory here and you coming out on top with this change. I see that you're, okay, so we have the 5 of Swords. Somebody else isn't using their tools in this, and I think that that's where you have the advantage. So you're the person who gets to make the quick decisions where other people seem to be slacking. There may be more than one person involved in this, but you're going to take the lead and the control of this, and you're going to take the past wisdom or even decisions and cut through all the BS moving forward. You're going to learn from other people's mistakes in this, which, go for it. There's a lot of masculine energy around this. It's forward moving, it's momentum, it's action oriented. I love this. So there, it seems to be like this wave of positive agitation, but still nonetheless there's agitation. Something inside of you is restless and it wants to make a move. And again, I got to warn you about potential impulsiveness. You're not going to want to deal with it if you don't actually think things through. So the other part is the hard work, but it's hopeless. It feels hopeless. It's going to feel like it's never ending. You're not enjoying your time. You're not letting yourself live. You're not letting yourself adjust. You're not letting yourself be your best assets in this. So this, it's going to take away from the spectacular change that is coming into play. And it is going to dog you down until you actually break from it and let yourself actually get kind of daring with it. You're going to be broken of your need to plug yourself in so hard. So I see you eventually having, good God, with these notifications. What is it today? So eventually you will be broken up of this need to micromanage every aspect of this. And I see you delegating responsibility to probably some people who you are more favorable of, rather than the people that you are basing the old failures off of, because you got something that's really winning in this that is going to have a huge flow towards you in the best possible way. I see you investing a lot. I see you taking more risks with this, but there's an air of excitement. I don't think that this is going to be something that you didn't think out. This is if you keep trying to micromanage, you finally get broken of it, and then you get daring. I can like that. These are good things. I see that they're seizing a major opportunity that is coming into play. You're ready for this fulfillment. You're ready for the excitement. You're getting over whatever the karmic lesson of this past situation or the prelude to this situation was. A lot of change is going to be happening in your environment. We have the Page of Pentacles. The payoff is going to be slow, but this is really going to get your confidence going with this. So, ready to move on from the karmic situation. The big but of, oh my God, hang on, this is getting interesting now. And then the little bit of payoffs. It's like something that doubles and then doubles on that and then doubles on that. I want to get more of where we're going with this. So, ooh, what's this? Okay. All right, so caution to the wise. Your confidence, it's like, it's almost like you're drunk on excitement with this. I'm not saying that you're an alcoholic or anything like that. I'm not saying that about any of this. This is like getting drunk on excitement. You're fully immersed in it. But what seems to happen is now it's, oh crap, is this really happening? Is this really moving forward? I don't think that I'm ready. And it's like you start doubting all of the hard work. So I kind of gotta ask you, How often does this happen? How often do you really start making headway either in your bodily, adjustments, whether you are seeing the results of diet and exercise, you're seeing the results of promotion, you're seeing the results of dedication, your hard work, playing in the stocks and really starting to develop a system. How often do you start to see yourself getting really happy, really excited, and really ahead, and then just starting to back out of it? What are you doing with that? So this is saying it's time for you to recognize those shortcomings when it is happening. And this is going to have you pulling back that energy of the resistance that's coming in. I feel a really fiery spark that is coming in. And I see that you almost have like somebody who's pepping on your side, who's getting that excitement back into you, who's who I think is going to be your biggest cheerleader, aside from yourself. I always want you to be your biggest cheerleader, but I see somebody seeing you starting to backtrack and go back in. They're doing damage control. I really like this person around you. This is such bro material, and it doesn't have to be gendered. I say bro material, but it's really not gendered. This setback for you is very short-lived. I think that this is to reestablish and reaffirm what the worthiness aspect of you is, what your drive is, and I think actually even more importantly, your ability. I think this is one of the first instances that you're truly believing that you could do something even greater than what you expected before. So this kind of feels like a puzzle that you're getting into. It actually feels like a puzzle that's really gonna involve all your mental faculties right there. But now that I'm talking to you, do I want this? No, I don't want this. I want something over here. Do I want this? I don't even want that. Okay, so apparently what I want is, no, it's still not this. What the hecking heck do I want? Hold on. Go grab your food and drink. I gotta see what's going on with this. Okay, apparently we're going with this card. I was picking up these cards, picked up this card, felt the magnetic pull. So Spirit's getting, a little bit of a message to you outside of this. The simple yet powerful law of cause-effect means that everything is in relationship. Every action on earth has a consequence. Even in the spirit world, there's a consequence for every action that is taken on your behalf. Right now, you're facing conditions that were set in motion by past decisions. So yeah, this is the hard work that you've been doing. All right. Consequences are coming to being in your favor. They will remind you that making good choices and listening to your intuition will pay off. If some things are a little off and uncertain, just know that whatever you are facing, you can step beyond it just by using your imagination and acting on that instead of reacting to whatever is being presented. Everything you think and everything that you do has far-reaching reverberations in the web of life. Move to a higher ground and have faith that what goes around comes around. The universe is self-correcting anyways. Now, isn't that amazing? I can genuinely appreciate that because it's talking about you and your need to self-correct in this right now. Well, not right now, but when you start to hit the resistance, it means that you need to step back and really look at the big picture. Everything that you are doing isn't really stoppable, and it is in your favor, and this is set in motion by the passion and dedication that you've been putting into whatever this change has been. So in doing that, there's something about you that needs to heal, and I'm getting to use the archetype cards from Caroline Mees, which is, we have Goddess, but I feel like there's another one in here. And yes, Goddess is upright. I'm just shuffling. I'm shuffling. Let's see. Let's see what the F and F is going on here. We got a few more cards. Okay. So I'm going to keep the Martyr in reverse. I'm going to keep the Judge in reverse. We have the Child Magical upright and the Goddess upright. So I'm going to read them like this. So the light attribute of the Goddess upright is the feminine expressed through wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality, seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things, believing that anything is possible. And I think that that's what you really also very much need right now. The innocence and curiosity of being a child. So the shadow work of judge and martyr is offering only destructive criticism, misusing business, legal, or criminal authority. Addiction is self-pity. So with the setbacks I was initially talking about, this is an opportunity for you to say, oh, all is lost, all is garbage, like everything else that goes to crap. That's what has to heal right now, because this is you and doing this really contained demolition. You have the ability to F all of it up and start from the ground up, which is going to really drag you even further out in this when it can be really great sooner. So this is seeing that whatever the setback is, it doesn't mean that all is lost. It is actually still very much possible that you can have the success and more success and fulfillment in whatever this endeavor is. So it's talking about the need to have humility to talk about the lesson learned and not be too proud to admit that you, the wonderful you, is possible of making mistakes. You know, one of my favorite things that happened with a group of scientists, and I don't actually remember the actual story. I was in 8th grade with Mr. McClellan's class. This is Vermont little girl Erin. I was sitting in a class and he was doing this trivia at the end. And he was talking about how all of these scientists got wiped out and fired. And it was because they weren't making any mistakes. They weren't learning from anything. They were just doing things that they already kind of knew and that they could prove. There was no room to grow in it. They weren't actually making any sort of history. They were just basically kind of getting through it. So the why this is coming up now, I guess, is because you need to have accidents. You need to have mistakes. You need to actually allow room for error so that there can be some sort of new mental construction of what doesn't work, what does work, where can we go from this. This opens up the creative faculties of the mind. So instead of you saying, all is lost, can't do this again, it's telling you, get your head out of your keister, realize that this is a huge learning opportunity that's going to open even more doors, even with this setback, and create possibly something even better on the same road. So in getting over that and realizing that you are somebody who's incredibly wise, wisdom, and filled with wisdom, and is fully capable of perseverance and resilience and flourishing, what else? Well, what's going to come out of this? So we're going to see. Blessed is at the bottom. So obviously it's going to be terrible. Okay. Breathe. So it's telling you to relax. This is a blessing. It just comes about in different ways. You cannot avoid the laws of the universe. For every failure, there is a success. So this is really bringing in this idea that, first off, this incident, absolutely fate. Fate, fate, fate. And it's serendipitous. All right, enough of that. But it's the law of compensation. So what seems to be thrown in your path as a derailment, actually, it's going to be a loss to gain more. And so this, how can you look at this and not see it as the failure that I know you want to see it as? Let me look at the law of compensation with you and what you should do about it. 39. Okay. So this universal law of compensation is the law of cause and effect applied to the blessings and abundance we receive. The sixth law is the law of manifested results of our deeds that have been given to us in the form of gifts, money, inheritances, friendships, and blessings. This law is firm and there's no flexibility in the rules, not even one. The law is clear and straightforward. It means that we cannot have successes without also having failures or hardships. Compensation, in more clear terms, is for everything you have missed, you have gained something else. And for everything you have gained, you have lost something else. For anything and everything gained, there must be a loss. Simple example would be, in order to have a fire to stay warm, we use the wood, which means that we replace the wood for fire and warmth. And now we cook food on the fire. We replace the heat from the fire with the food we cook. Then we lose the food to bring nourishment to our bodies. And this continues until we are so small that we move on, or that the energy is so small that we move on. Loss is not meant to be the human concept of being a negative thing. One thing always balances the other. So after you have that realization, the result of the path is, first off, learning how to have better boundaries and learning how to tell people to F off. Believe it or not, that is a power trip. And you kind of need to learn to have that in your back pocket. And it's learning what you do not comply with and what you do not want to entertain, and you standing up for what you actually believe in, and stop giving yourself the stupid excuses. You're going to get a backbone out of this. I'm not saying that you don't have one. This is going to be an added one. I really hope that made sense. It's going to be a lot of hard work, but man, is it worth it. Oh, and this card came out with it too. So self-mastery, working on your craft, manifestation, and abundance, total 8 around it. I love it. There's going to be even more in depth and in detail to your personal read. So if you want to book a reading based off of this or anything else, again, at the beginning or at the end or in the description, reach out and we'll talk about booking or providing any of my other services. And until next time, stay safe, have fun, and know that you're greatly loved and appreciated. Bye for now. So it's a time to have a personal revolt, to really mess some stuff up, to break a lot of, I guess, the old habits. It's time to really think outside the box and shake everything up in your life. But also, it's kind of weird because it's like telling you to avoid drama. It's telling you to avoid getting into scuffs with people. How the heck are you going to have an entire makeover, think outside the box, have this big, loud, dramatic change, but not be dramatic, not be confrontational? I mean, it feels stuck. There's something that you got to work out. How can you be a silent catalyst and advocate for yourself in this? It doesn't quite make sense to me on here. So let's see. It's at a place of indecision. Okay. Stop involving yourself with persons, places, things, anything that is a noun that goes against your integrity, goes against your authenticity. You do not need to have this big show of it. It's almost like taking a knee, standing in silence, the silent protest. You're not going to engage in any of this crap. Whew. There is no move for you to make. This is not about making a move. This is about being at a stalemate and not taking any action. The fortune is a big fat no for whatever it is that you've been engaged in that has been going against you for the longest time. So, time to call some quits on some actions in your life and go another route. Don't even fight with whatever it is that you're fighting to let go of, and just do it silently. Starve it of the reaction that it wants to have. And I mean that, starve it of the reaction that it wants you to have. After that happens, what, geez, are you flipping kidding me? This is the bottom of the deck. This is the bottom of the deck, new life. You can't have something new until you do something different. Something different has to occur. And I know that you've been grappling with this for quite some time, but the thing is, you gotta let this crumble. You gotta stop fighting against this change that has been going and being made in your life for quite some time. I'm talking extended period. It seems like it's been really messy, it's been really chaotic, but I promise you, it is the universal way of reordering you into your actual destination, or the fate. One of the destination stops. This is absolutely wild. This is going to be a whole new mindset in life and drive. Very cool. You working yourself to the bone in the way that you were for the sake of what you perceived at the time to be your happiness is gotta be gone now. You've completely burned yourself out. You made yourself almost robotic with how automatic it was, and Spirit is going to have you lay down right now. You need to learn to laugh again. You need to be, part of life again. You have to allow for the co-creation, having a spirit. You put so much stock in action and so much weight on your shoulders to execute everything perfectly that you've worked yourself into a frenzy, and you've probably even made yourself sick, which probably makes you tired or having to lay down now. But this is saying this could be a positive thing moving forward, because you're going to have to do something different. You're going to have to behave different. You're going to have to start getting creative and allowing for the co-creation of spirit to kind of happen in your life. I know that sounds woojy, but this is saying you can't continue on the way that you were before. Even you resting and reapproaching this very same thing that was happening before is not going to work. You're only going to be burned out even sooner, because your body can't keep going this way. So this is saying fate has stepped in and showed you what's no longer going to work for you, what's no longer going to happen. And what it's doing right here is it's telling you you have to find a new happy. It's not settling down. It's not being complacent. It's not any of those things. If you were going to get to your goal and what the burnout stage was, it was not going to be nearly as sweet. It was not going to be something that could have been fulfilling for you. So it wants you to allow for your life to be a little bit more easier, to where you can laugh at yourself and not take yourself so seriously. Why did you want that? You're really going to have to get crazy and think outside the box with this one. You're going to have to allow for the readjustments of your life to take place. Let's see what else. You got to go in. You got to let life come towards you. You have got to let Spirit meet you halfway on this, because you were doing all of the work in this and Spirit was not going to let this happen. It is so desperately trying to end this old chapter, and you are holding on to these hot coals and it's burning you. Let yourself be taken care of right now. Let your body rest the way that you know that it needs to, and let this regeneration in your life start. It is happening for you. It is giving you a second chance, and you're just prolonging the pain for yourself. You have an issue with self-worth and worthiness, and Spirit is going to knock you out cold and force you to sleep so that it can heal not only your mind but your body, and so you can actually make the changes in your situation. I really hope that made sense. There's so much in store for you, but it has to come towards you, and you've got to let that guard down. And apparently that's why you're being knocked on your keister. Sorry. You're not lazy, you're being recharged. And in fact, a lot of your toxic mindsets that has prevented you from allowing yourself to even plan your future or see your future, those are being flushed out of your body right now. I know that you have not been able to think that, life was going to be happening for you a year down the road. You couldn't see the future anymore. You probably had this sense of impending doom because you couldn't even envision the future anymore. This is a trauma response. There's probably been something really traumatic that has either occurred or that has been reemerging in your life from before. And Spirit is telling you to rest and recharge and let this be flushed out of your experience so that you can be re-energized and take charge in a unique and fast-paced way. And it actually makes you this really intuitive and hunting energy. I feel like there's a real go-getter that's inside of you that is not going to be burnt out, that has a lot of power behind it, and that is beautiful, strong, and majestic, all in the same breath. So the cleanse and detoxify, I do feel like this is dealing with the sacral chakra. You're very in tune and easily affected by anything that's a noun. Purses, really? Yeah, those purses, they can really get to you. People, places, things, anything that's a noun. You can be really affected by that. So this is removing you from all of those so that you can be fully present. and you can actually know when to say when, and probably learn a new favorite word, no. No. And in fact, it might have a few solid words with it. Heck no, hecking heck no, F no, all of that. All of those are really good. So I see that you're gonna develop a new sense of security, and also I see the anxiety de-escalating with you. I do feel like you'll be able to be in more control, but also once you rest from whatever this traumatic response is, I do feel like there is going to be a lot more remembering the dreams, but also daydreaming and kind of reimagining, I guess, a new direction of the future. I can dig it. I see that fighting spirit that you have. I see that go-getter attitude. It's going to be a trip, but it's going to be fun. Be very careful with the upcoming energies. It looks like there's going to be potential strife between you and well, personal relationships. It really can be, you know, people who are toxic. It could be even great relationships, but there's a lot of issues not only with trust, there's issues with being understood, and also it seems like there's old issues that are being redug up, and it's causing people to have a divide between them. So what I see is it's going to be better, but don't engage yourself in the fight. There's no quick solution to it, so you can forget about that. The only thing that you can really do is understand that this is probably a collective event, and that your lack of participants in it is going to ensure a sense of peace afterwards. So this normally would be codependent behavior. You're breaking the sense of codependency, and there's really the sense of seizing an opportunity that is coming up with a personal relationship of yours that probably stopped growing for a little bit. It's like it just kind of plateaued. There you go. I see new growth happening. It looks like all parties involved are getting over an excruciating part of their own personal experience in life. So this, I think, might be the last throes of whatever this traumatic experience is. I see balance being restored. So all around, this looks really good. The collective coloring of this, it's going from a place of blue, which is great, and healing and speaking in your truth, and it's moving into an air of confidence and also passion and security, and probably healthy anger that's moving through this. It hasn't been growing for a little bit, and that's fine. I see new growth happening, but you're going to have to really pay attention to the seeds that you are planting, and make sure that not only yourself, but everybody is an active participant, and everybody has growth of this coming together on their mind, and that everybody is behaving independently, and that they're equally as invested. So it's cutting through all the BS, seeing what page everybody is on, and understanding that this is going to be mutual fulfillment, and there's this feeling of Leo energy around it too. So I think that this is very loud energy that is coming into play. It's divinely protected, but it's also being held in by some sort of speaking out. So this is coming from a place of discipline, a place of confidence, a place of even slight anxiety with it. So there's a need to control, but also this is saying there's a need to control, but don't step back from, I guess, speaking out, and also letting new healing take place over this need to have control. Very interesting, but it's going to be balanced, and the connection will start to grow again. Whoever this toxic a-hole is, they are somebody who really desperately needs to grow the F up. I hate this energy. I know that you hate this energy. This is some idiot who constantly makes excuses for their behavior. They have no control over their self. They have major case of the efforts and are always creating problems, not only for their self, but for others. So this is an absolute nightmare of an energy to deal with. Tyrant, lacking control, kind of feels like it's a self-imposed prison that they're with. So this might be somebody who is either dealing with some incredible mental undiagnosed stress. And I'm not giving anybody crap for having any sort of, mental issue. We all have them. This person, outside of that, they are an a-hole. So this is somebody that you're dealing with, or that has been coming up. And I mean that in a figurative way. They make excuses for themselves. They are not going to change. They're not going to change. There's still going to be manipulative mind Fs. So this, understand that they're ungrounded, and that there's going to be what seems to be a charge in what looks like an entirely new direction. You're going to have to just block this energy. There's really no getting through to it, and they're not going to change. They're going to keep badgering, and that's annoying, and it's harassing. So I see this. They're eventually going to give up. They will, and thank God. I think that if push comes to shove, the person who's the insufferable punk in all this, they're going to learn a very hard lesson. And I see that you're gonna have good news that comes out of their crap. Because first off, they slip up and they show their true self to probably the best and the wrong person. So it validates you and vindicates you, but it totally F's them over. So whatever illusion they're giving off, you better believe that this is going to be canceled out really fast, and any sort of judgment that's been held against you is going to be over. And I see that you just want to move on. This was a major test that you had to pass. You're over this entire karmic soul contract that you had with this idiot. It is over. They are going to be away from you. Absolutely awesome. You're ready to finally get the Two of Cups restored inside of you. This made you grow so incredibly much, and it's redefined how you communicate with people. You are going to be very strict with your boundaries. This person, this nightmare, you are not going to be put in that position ever again. I see a very wonderfully emotionally intuitive and beautiful feminine energy. It's genderless, but I'm seeing this beautiful nurturing energy really grow and change, and see some major payoff through a lot of trials and tribulations. I do feel like this feminine energy has been going through a really hard time. I see that they have a sense of being forced to stay grounded. Also, there's lacking movement. So this person was, in a way, forced to stand still, and that feels excruciating for them. I feel like there was lacking resources, so they had to make do with what they had. There's a slow buildup behind the scenes, and I think that they still were not employing whatever assets they had been growing. They put themselves in a point of suffering until they felt comfortable enough to let whatever they've been growing come to actual blossom and fruition. But now I see that there's some sort of an offer that is coming through, and I think that this is whoever was dealing with this hardship. I think that this is for them. I'm seeing that this is somebody who is going to take all of those assets, strategically plug them into new areas, and really grow what seems to be this really, it seems like a sense of freedom. They're growing a sense of freedom. So this actually might be financial abundance, financial freedom, or opportunity freedom. It seems like it's going to be something that constant feeds into itself. This is somebody whose ships are finally coming in. They are wise, they are intelligent, they are structured, they have a really solid plan that I do see them taking action on. This is a really idealistic person who is able to put in their idealisms into action, and now it's like they're this really awesome, unstoppable force who's really driven by a unique sense of passion. And I think that they're remembering where they were in the hardship and what wasn't stepping in. It's not like a personal vendetta. It's just remembering when it was at its worst time, what and who was around for it. So this has made a very empathetic yet independent person. I don't see them holding grudges. I see that they are going to continue this path of stoic independence and what seems to be very abundant growth. I really love this. They didn't lose their heart, but man, did they gain a lot of experience. They really do feel unstoppable. They have the masculine and the feminine, King and Queen of Cups. They are intuitive, sensitive, assured, and controlled, and it's unstoppable. I love this energy. This is going to be something that just continues to grow and be in the constant state of flow and abundance. Very cool.